Hello, everyone. We have a special treat happening next Friday after this episode. We should be having a mini campaign in the Adventures Without Attitude feed using Nickelstock's Lasers and Liches module, The Legend of Sucane Lake. We've titled this mini campaign Adventures in Lizard City. We really appreciate you listening to us and sticking with us as you have. If you really want to show your appreciation, please leave us a review on your podcast app of choice. Now we have a promo for the network we're a part of, and then it'll be on to the show.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin. On the frontier of the internet is a new website being constructed called FuninstallersNetwork.com, where they install fun directly into your brain, where they do collaborations with other creators, such as video game reviews, podcast episodes, art galleries, and they even do little game master tips for you who like tabletop role-playing games. So make sure to go over to FuninstallersNetwork.com and tell them that this really cool radio guy sent ya. Now back to your regularly scheduled program, whatever it may be.
Hello, Dungeons and Pop listeners, and welcome to another episode of Capers and Cataclysms. Today's adventure is episode 2 of the Electrum Dragon. Last time, our heroes had been randomly pulled together at the last minute to form a team to help the Electrum Dragon and at request of the Guildmaster, who joined them, let's say, for a little bit. Probably is going to get in a lot of trouble when he gets back. And we had just gotten through the formalities of them getting into the grand, amazing, huge casino tower. Before we get any further, let's meet the players, shall we? I'll just start from the top this time. Alphabetical. So, Alex?
Hi, I am Alexiel. I am a he/him. I am playing Rune, and I am a bard, a hologram knight, multi-class.
Much more clear there.
Let me be clear about that, considering it's apparently not clear enough.
And Crest?
Hi, I'm Crest. Pronounce he, him. You can find me on Twitter at FantasyCrest. And I'm playing Michelangelo, whose pronouns are also he, him, and is a gunslinger.
Excellent. Sean?
Hey, folks, this is Sean, the creator of Dungeons and Bop and the person who dragged half these people into the podcasting community.
More like 90%.
Oh, yeah, well, no, 80%. Crest was there before.
That's fair.
Yes.
And I know it doesn't seem alphabetical, but trust me, by the list I'm looking at, finally, Phoenix.
Hi.
Oh, wait, I forgot. Oh,
wait, right. John didn't introduce his character. I'm sorry.
My bad.
Oh.
Sorry, Phoenix.
This is why I don't host many games.
And I'm playing Cruz Stormson, son of Aaron Stormson from Adventures of Batitude, and he's a legacy warlock, arachnid stalker, which means I have a certain common trait with a certain common rider that almost turns themselves into an old man.
And now, Phoenix. Sorry about that earlier.
No worries, no worries. Hey, I'm Phoenix. I am the resident Australian. I am a they, them. And I'm playing Valvyre, a female dragonborn sorcerer who may or may not be everyone's problem.
And again, I am Marcel. I am the dungeon master, and so all the NPCs, any pronouns work. And let's just get right back into it. When we last left our crew, I believe Michelangelo was going on patrol.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Rune and Valvyre were heading for
The roulette.
the roulette pit. It's not really a pit, it's just a couple steps down. I don't know why they call sections of casinos pits. I don't. But and Cruz had found a high point to spy on and just been asked if he'd like a drink by a floating hoverbot. I will say one more really quick note before we start. I did forget something in my description that is pretty important and apparent in this grand casino.
Yes.
4 large circles, like golden hoops, float out alongside the tower, like just away from it, and one in each cardinal direction, each with a pair of great metal arms inside of them. They're basically 4 giant clocks, one on each side of the inner tower, that are just magically floating around the outside of it, showing you the current time, at least in hours and minutes.
Oh, yeah, isn't that a thing like real casinos have? Like, there's just clocks every the fuck where?
Actually, it's usually the other way around. Casinos, shopping centers, that sort of thing, they tend to hide the clocks for the most part, because the longer you're in the casino or store, the more money you're likely to spend / lose.
Ah.
This one's a little different. This is a different kind of casino, as you can probably tell.
Yeah.
Well, it's a casino, but it's also like fair compared to real life casinos. I'd say it's fair.
Yeah, it's more fair than your average casino. Like it still has the advantage, but they don't. Their goal isn't to just run people into poverty. If you insist on running yourself into poverty, that's one thing. But the casino will not trick you into it, essentially. So then, I guess we'll start with Sean's character up in the rafters, as he was just asked if he'd like a drink by a little floaty hoverbot.
I think Cruz just turns to it and asks what their best carbonated beverage is.
The little hover servitor bot of sorts looks like a golden platter on top of a little golden cylinder with a little face on the between the two. Like its head is the platter that the drink would be sitting on, and it calculates for a moment quietly before responding based on appearance. Root beer float.
Yeah, I'll have a root beer float.
1 float before hovering off again. And
I'm just picturing a hovering version of the base enemies from Enter the Gungeon, but with a platter instead of a bullet tip on the top.
I'm almost picturing that too, but it's like, for me, I'm picturing almost like an Alexa, like an Echo Dot.
Okay.
It's like with like a little like future like floaty like ring under it.
It definitely has the future floating ring. It definitely has that.
Okay.
But it's also looks like it's made mostly out of gold or bronze. Very shiny.
I would expect that.
It's very shiny, yeah. So that thing hovers off to go do its thing. What does everyone else do? Or what does everyone else
Going gambling.
in this grand casino? You're gambling.
Yes. I would like to go gamble.
Do you have a preference for what you're going to go gamble so we can describe that for the luck roll?
Well,
What's your game of choice?
well, you said we were heading towards the roulette pit?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're going there.
All right. Well, I'm going to need you to give me 2 luck rolls and tell me what each of them are.
That's 2 D20s.
Yes. Just no modifiers. It's luck.
Alright. They are both 4.
So that'd be 44.
No.
No.
Oh.
The fact that they're both 4 is hilarious.
Yeah.
It means you find an open table, not too hard. It does take a bit. Like every time you tried to go to a table at first, you kind of just got like blocked from approaching the table, like someone else would take the spot that you were heading for. You did eventually find an open spot, lucky you.
Hey.
And you placed your first bet, and it landed literally on the other side of the wheel from where your bet was. Like, you couldn't have bet even. It was a pretty bad bet, your first bet. But thankfully, you didn't bet everything.
Yeah, thankfully.
So that's the first thing they're doing. Well, let's check on the others.
You can do our other roulette person.
Yeah, I'm also at the roulette.
Are you also gambling?
Yes. Well,
did you go to a different table, or did you try and go to the same table as her?
I believe Valvyre went to the silver. I went to the gold.
Ah, okay. So different. Okay.
Different sections. We're different sections because it also the split up. Also, yeah, everybody split up because that's a great idea for the party.
Yeah.
I need the same thing from you then. 2d20.
2d20.
Yeah. Dude, like a d20. Roll a d20 twice, essentially.
Okay, that's a 15 and a 14.
Oh, all right. Well, that's much better. You're able to find a table very quickly, and with what seems like at least pretty decent folk, and it seems some people are on a bit of a hot streak.
Mm-hmm.
And
can I?
Your first bet?
Well, just because you're mentioning if they seem to be on hot streaks, can I like insight any of that?
Oh, if you like to, go ahead.
Just because I remember, I actually took notes here. It's like usually it's seemingly random.
Yeah.
But it's like the hot. Well, one, we're in the hot zones, and two, usually these hot streak people are part of it, quote unquote, accordingly.
Yeah.
Okay. Insight, that is. Okay, I don't know what my dice is doing, but it likes this area of numbers. 16 on dice.
16 total? And what's your insight?
16 on no, that's on dice. That'd be 19 total. No. I'm looking at the wrong number. 17 total. My bad.
Well, looking around, they all seem pretty upstanding people, and just one guy seems to be on a bit of a hot streak, and other people are betting with him. So they're, rising tide lifts all boats. Essentially, is the vibe here.
Okay.
And
then continuing on with the gamble.
Yeah. You ended up betting in just color to start. We're gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you bet you were smart enough to start with a smaller thing, but you win and double your chips from that, essentially.
Nice.
So that's a pretty easy one. Finally, we move over to Crest character. What's Crest doing in this grand casino?
Crest is...
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo, sorry. Yeah, it's fine.
I don't know if you're there. It'd be interesting if the actual Crest was there. But what is Michelangelo doing?
He's going on patrol and trying to get a feel for the area.
I guess insight would be perception or insight, depending on if you're looking for things or vibe.
Things.
Things, so that'd be perception.
16?
You notice just a lot of people moving around and having a decent time. Lots of really good lines of sight, surprisingly, for a casino. Like, you can you can see all the way to casino pits, even though you didn't head straight towards them. And when a win happens over there, you actually can spot Rune, right? Rune.
Yep. You
can actually see Rune at his table, at the table that like lights up with indicating a winner, essentially, So very surprisingly good lines of sight here. So it'd be very hard to pull any kind of bullshit in this place, which is why it's probably so surprising that someone's been getting away with it.
Okay.
You also notice that several people do keep looking up at the giant clocks, seeming to be getting more excited as the clock gets closer to the hour, which it's almost at, by the way. So it's almost to an hour shift,
Okay. A bit of a stretch here, but has my amulet lit up yet or no?
Your amulet?
Yes.
What was your amulet for again?
Hold on 1 second.
While he does that, I do have to ask, what's the minimum bet? Just for money counting sake.
At the gold table, it's a gold.
Okay.
at the low end of the gold table.
Okay.
Which is where you ended up.
And at the silver one, it is a silver, yeah?
Normally it's a silver, but you had bad luck finding table, and the first table you were able to find was one of the higher end silvers, where so the minimum bet was 5 silver.
Okay, so I lost 5 silver. All right.
Yeah.
So you lost all the silver that the guildmaster gave you?
Yeah, so all money going forward in your gambling will be your own.
Yeah, fair enough.
I started with my own money, so...
Okay. The amulet lights up in the presence of illusion magic, but only when the caster is divine in origin.
No lighting up then.
Okay. Then, since the amulet's not working, I'm going to go to my special knack I have. I'm invoking my background, Intuitive Connection. You are always aware of any powerful natural source of magic in your immediate vicinity, such as a ley line. You're also aware if a ritual spell has been cast within the last 7 days in the space you're currently occupying.
There's no ritual magic that's been cast recently. However, there is a very strong magical source through here. It's unclear if it's of a natural ley line or not, but it could be mistaken for a ley line if it's not one. And it is the central tower itself has a good deal of magical energy flowing through it. And with the source of whatever it is being not the base, but somewhere beneath the base of the tower within the tower. All right?
Okay.
So anything else?
I'm going to wait for the clock thing to happen, I guess. And then I'm going to go from there.
All right. I think that would leave time for one more round of gambling from our...
Yes, please.
Our 2, if you want to make another bet.
Absolutely.
It would just be a single D20 this time, unless you want to find a different table.
Single D20.
Single D20. Let's see how you do.
Natural 20.
Oh, you hit the number exactly. Congrats. Wait, okay, I gotta check something really quickly, because I cannot remember betting and payout. Like, that's something, like, I just realized I don't know the actual payouts for that, so I should check that. The 6th number.
Well, you said she's at the 5 silver.
Yeah. But I have to see the pays what the one, you know? 6 numbers. So with a net 20, you did a single number.
Yeah.
And it landed on a number, so god damn. If you did you do the minimum bet?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say? Probably.
Yeah.
Let me pull out a calculator, because I don't want to I probably could do the math on my own, but I don't want to.
Fair enough.
You bet 5 silver?
Yeah.
You got chips worth 175 silver.
Excellent.
You got the exact number, which is very nice.
Awesome.
Very nice. So that's a nice win. You and like made up there over there. So very nicely done. And people at your table are like, hey, nicely done. And one guy seems a little annoyed, but shakes it off quickly enough. And
well, I just screen under the
all right. So then we move over to our other friend, Rune. Are you gonna make another bet?
I may as well.
Just straight up luck roll.
Okay. That's another D20.
Yep.
That is an 18.
You bet, and again, bet just a single gold. We're going to keep assuming the minimum.
Oh, I was going to say, can I up my bet?
You would have had to say so ahead of time.
Okay.
Without telling me the exact one, we're going to say you bet on second highest thing you can do, which would be...
That's the groupings, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like the second highest payout is 1 to 17. So either a 2-number split or a 0-0-0 split is 1 to 17. Okay. So that worked out pretty well for you.
Yes.
You get a 10, a 5-piece, and 2 1 chips, essentially. That's pretty good. And I guess that is just enough time before the...
I put 1 gold in, I get 17 out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very lucky rolls today. Well, besides the starting ones for...
Yeah.
As you're doing this, other betting's about to start happening, and you can put yourself on your table to bet. as the wheel spins at your table, Valvyre,
Yes.
they start spinning, and as they're spinning, the clocks click over to the hour. It is now gone from 5:59 to 6 o'clock, I'm going to say, 6 in the evening.
Okay.
And as it does, noise breaks out all across the building, like sparkles, shots, and announcement is like 6 o'clock, happy hour now begins. Cheers, that sort of thing. And it's the start of the evening specials, I guess they start doing.
Yeah.
And while this is happening, actually, I need to give me another luck roll really fast. Just Valvyre.
9.
Your number doesn't come up, but while everyone is kind of cheering about this going on, someone, again, had made a big bet at your table on a specific number just as the clock was, just as the wheel was beginning. It was like the last second when you still could bet.
Okay.
And as all the songs are happening from it being 6 o'clock and people celebrating, it's like, oh yeah, happy hour. And then starting to order drinks as the hoverbots are going out. The guy hit the number. And his bet of 20 silver on a single spot goes, let me just, wait, he gets 700 silver.
Right.
Essentially.
Can I keep an eye on this guy?
You can, because before the dongs are even done in going off, he has grabbed his chips and left the table.
Excellent. I would like to visually track where he's going.
Now, did anybody else see this?
No one else would have been looking. Well, actually, I guess the people that would have a chance to see it would be our two scouts, I guess. So, perception checks, I guess, if anyone else saw it.
Okay.
I don't think Rune could see it from where he is, but...
Okay, I'm just asking them also because I'm in, the neighboring section.
Yeah.
Artho.
Unfortunately for you, actually, you can do a perception check. It's just going to be hard for you. Yes?
That's perfectly fine.
Natural 20 for 24.
You spotted it exactly. As soon as, the thing went off, and even if that would have normally distracted you, in the corner of your eye, you see one of the silver tables lighting up at the same time. Normally, it has a big noise kind of announcement that lets people know. It's like, hey, there was a winner here. Yeah, good job. But it's completely drowned out by the 6 o'clock start of Happy.
Wait, Arthur, wouldn't I have a chance since I'm
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You would also get a roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone gets a roll, but Rune's is just going to be a higher DC to actually see it.
Okay.
Considering his position.
Yeah.
I got a 17.
You also spot the winning happening at the table and Valvyre starting to try and follow this person.
Yep.
I 18 total. I got a 17 on the dice.
I'm trying to keep this person in sight, but not be obvious about following.
So that'd be stealth roll from you. Rune, you don't fully notice it, but you do notice that Valvyre is not at the table anymore, is what you notice.
That is
Okay.
an unnatural 20. I got a 19 on the dice.
Oh, this person has no idea you're following him.
Okay.
He's in a rush. He has put all his chips into a bag of holding, it looked like, considering the bag is actually rather small, and had quickly, this nervous human-looking fellow just started rushing towards the front exit, essentially.
Yeah, I'm following.
I do have something I want to do quickly because I have a spell for this. If I notice Valvyre is gone, I'm going to cast third person.
What's third person do?
So as a bonus action, this is a divination, so we have the things that let us divine. I create an invisible magical eye in a place I can see within range to look directly at me. So I can put it 60 feet away toward where Valvyre was and basically kind of get a camera snap of
All right.
Where everybody went.
All right, go ahead, and then you're going to have to do a perception again, considering she's trying to be stealthy. Well, not stealthy against you, so his DC won't be as high as what she actually rolled, thankfully.
30-20.
Even if it was, you would have seen her seeming to be following someone, though the person they're following you didn't see.
Okay.
They're already out of line of sight by now.
Hey, Arsel.
Yes.
What do I need to roll to Spider-Man my way after them?
Do you have the ability to web sling?
Technically, I do have webbing.
It would be acrobatics.
Okay, yeah, because when you can project the line of web as a bonus action, I use 3 temporary roll. Okay, acrobatics, great. Yeah, I picked out my expertise well then.
I have bad news for you, though. It has to be with disadvantage.
All right.
And you'll see why after your roll.
Okay, that's 15.
That's still good enough. Just as you're about to jump off, the little hoverbot had popped back up in front of you. And thankfully, you're able to move enough not to hit him and the very full and nice-looking drink that's sitting on top of his head that he brought back for you. Though it seems a little disappointed as you jump away from it. Your drink? Oh.
With a natural 20, I'm assuming I can see
Everything.
Oh, you spotted Valvyre starting to go after. You spotted the person. You know exactly who she's after.
Okay, I'm going to leave Valvyre to that, and I'm going to see if I can find a way into the basement of the tower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna chase after Valvyre.
Okay.
Because I know you're chasing something. I don't know what you're chasing. I will find out.
All right. So we'll get back to Crest in a minute. As you guys are making your way to try and follow Valvyre or the guy she's following, he makes it all the way to the entrance before stopping and starting to look around. So we already know Valvyre's stealth. Let us check the others, I guess, are Web Slinger and Rune.
Spider Cruz.
Yeah, because I'm probably dashing to catch up. So
All right, so they didn't roll too well on their perception, but that doesn't mean that you automatically get a pass on your stealth.
That's a 17 on my stealth. 10 plus 7.
All right.
Did I have proficiency in this? I did not. That's still dirty 20.
Holy crap. Okay, so you both,
I have a +4 dex.
like, the guy doesn't notice any of you following him somehow, including the person swinging above along the little outcrops of the ceiling.
If I can get close enough, can I cast Leap?
If you can. Though, right after he's done looking around, he starts moving again, going to the exit door where he stops for a moment again and to get his wrist stamped, essentially. Like there's a guide there, just like to stamp his wrist on his way out to like, oh, here's your thing to make sure you can get back in. That's like a club kind of thing, you know?
Okay, Sleep has a 90-foot range, so that's as far as I need to be to attempt.
Yes, but can you roll the dice needed?
That's true.
Yeah, especially.
Depends on how many hit points he has.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my hand stamped as well.
You're going to go do that. Okay.
Yeah.
While he's getting his hand stamped and Valvyre is in line a few people back from him to get her hand stamped, is when our guy gets close enough to Cat.
Beautiful. Okay, so that is... How many d8s? 5d8.
Is it based on hit points or hit dice?
It is based on hit point.
Okay, so if his hit points are lower than what you roll, he falls asleep.
Yep, and then I have to put the remainder on something else in the area.
Oh dear.
I 20-foot range, so it could literally be the person right behind him.
Oh dear.
Okay, well, we're starting off good. I see an 8 already. Okay, 18. Getting dice. 6 or not. That's a 6.
It'd be really impressive if you've got a 9 on a D8.
Yeah, I know. It was upside down. Okay. 18 plus 6. That's all. 24. 20. No. 31.
Oh.
31 hit points of sleep.
So, yeah, you knock him out, and the person behind him, and the person behind him, and the stamper lady,
Oh no.
and the bodyguard just out front. Oh,
Whoops.
they all just kind of fall over asleep, and it causes a little bell to start ringing, like a little mini alarm.
Domino effect.
Hell yeah. Rune's a bard, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's actually a character.
Yeah.
I am a bard.
So other security from
Wait.
the place are quickly moving in to find out what the hell just happened.
Can't I pick who it goes to? Wait, if Valvyre is there, don't I know she's healthier than the regular person?
Yeah, but don't you have to use all the dice?
I do, but if I could just knock the guy I want out and then transfer whatever's left to Valvyre, knowing that's probably not going to knock her out.
Doesn't it go in?
Oh, it goes in order.
Oh no! Yeah, wait. Here it is. Here it is. Lowest current hit points, and then it goes from there.
Yeah. So it didn't touch Valvyre at all. The guy only had 12 HP, so there was a lot of spillover.
Oops.
Yeah.
Although, was he the lowest? Because that also matters.
No, he wasn't the lowest. Remember, these are civilians here.
Oh, right. They have a hit point.
Which means they have 4. Or 1 to 4 hit points. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
well, the spillover was kind of needed.
Yeah, the fact that you also hit a security officer is kind of funny, I think.
That is a little funny.
So a bunch of people are rushing over.
Yep.
And Valvyre, the person in front of you, just passed out along with everyone in front.
There was literally a domino of people just falling asleep.
And then the alarm going up.
What the hell?
And I think Cruz just drops down next to you.
Slowly gonna put away my liar.
What the hell? That just happened.
I'd die.
That's what they like to know. One of the guards shouts as they're rushing over. What? Who's casting magic in the... Am I in the casino?
I wouldn't know.
Oh, jeez, get this.
But I do know that person, and I point to the guy I was following. He was acting quite suspicious, and as soon as and I tell the security guard what happened and why I was following the guy.
Oh, of course it's the guildies. Of course it's adventurers. It's always adventurers that cause trouble in this place.
Mascot and Michelangelo probably sneaking into the basement where he's probably not allowed to be.
All right, yeah, we're going to jump back over to you really fast. And first we're going to do... Let's see, how would I make you search for something?
Investigation.
Investigation. To see if you can find a way to the base, to the lower level of the casino.
12.
The only way you can see down to the lower levels is the elevators that possibly have it, and a available staircase that would go down to what it says are clubbing level. But the clubs are, based on the map you're able to find, clubs are along the outer ring of the tower. The central area is marked as staff only. The central area underneath the tower.
I was given a wristband last session. Remind me what it does.
It basically is what's allowing you to still use your magic while in here. And it's a way for them to identify you. It's like, oh yeah, you're one of the guild members, guildies that were called in. It's a marker and a magical override. Because most people aren't, normally you're not allowed to cast magic in here, and there is magical stuff in place to stop it. So the fact that someone casts sleep is probably a bigger deal than most of the stuff, because, again, magic usually doesn't work in this place unless you have one of these back.
At the guild hall, if every few days a tavern brawl doesn't break out, I would be surprised. So I'm going to ignore the chaos, and I'm just going to head for the elevators, because worst case scenario, I just get turned away.
No one turns you away from the elevators. And there does seem to be buttons for lower floors for maintenance, but It's one of those elevators that have the key things, like you need to use a key to turn on to activate those, or like yeah. You can't just press a button to go straight there.
My eyes glance up. Are there security cameras?
Not in the elevator. On your way to the elevator, there were, but doesn't seem to be any in the elevator.
Tinker's tools.
All right, so yeah, that'd be. Are you proficient in those?
Yes, I am.
All right, give us a roll.
Oh God.
Charity?
Yeah,
11. Damn.
you're unable to pick it, but on the plus side, you also don't trigger any alarms in your attempt. So that's unfortunate.
Or fortunate, depending on how you look at it.
That's true. That's true.
I'm gonna make one more go of it.
All right. You're going to get another chance before someone calls the elevator.
15.
You're able to click it. It worked. You can now access the 2 different sub-basements. Top one, which is just labeled staff, and the bottom one labeled maintenance.
Maintenance.
Going all the way down.
Yep.
So you're on your way to the underbelly of the Electrum Dragon. Oh, joy. We're going to jump back to the other room for a bit before we continue that. Is that all right?
Sure.
All right. So, have you ended up joining them yet, Rune, or did you try and book it after the sleep mishap?
What
did you do after the alarm went off?
Well, I put away my casting tool, obviously, because that's bard items.
Mm-hmm.
Well, any and all bard items are theoretically a casting tool. And I'm going to walk over and be like, what the fuck went on? I'm fake as hell right now.
I shoot Rune a side eye.
Give me a deception roll really fast.
Yep.
It's not going to be hard to beat what they rolled for.
Natural 20.
Yeah. Somebody cast sleep on all these people here. At least we hope it's sleep. They don't seem to be dead. Like some of the other guards are checking on the people. And the one person that Valvyre pointed out has been pulled over to the side. The exit lane has been closed and people are being filtered to other exit lanes. But you guys are getting a lot of look as you're talking to security. Congratulations, you are now a floor show, essentially.
Oh, good.
I'm used to being a floor show.
I do know there's attention on me, and I'm just like, Cruz probably notices it, that I'm just like more in my element now that there is attention on me. No, but I'm definitely, as soon as that person that I pointed out comes to, I would like to cast Charm Person on him.
Very quickly, how long does sleep last? Is it concentration?
It is not concentration. It lasts for a minute.
Okay.
Or until somebody is like literally slapped away. You could just slap a person and they will wait.
All right, so that's what they're doing with the staff members, at least, and this one security guy who is getting an earful for for being so easy to knock out. He's likely going to have to go to more training. I mean, to have one of the front security guys just get knocked out by such a simple spell seems pretty laughable for such an upstanding establishment like this, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I think that's a good lesson over there. Meanwhile,
so are you going to wake him up first, or are you going to wait for him to wake up?
I'm going to wait for him to wake up.
All right.
And then as soon as he's awake, I'm casting Charm Person at first level.
And is there a...
And there is...
Wisdom save?
Yeah, it's the wisdom save.
Oh, well, this guy... And what is your spell DC?
15.
He got a 7.
ooh,
Okay. For the next hour, he is charmed by me, generally.
Oh. You're very pretty, lady.
Thank you. I do have a few.
Oh, well, sure. Ask anything you like, pretty lady. He doesn't seem to notice the 2 security guards flanking them or the other two adventurers.
Earlier, when you won your major jackpot, I noticed you left very swiftly after when it hit on the hour.
Yeah, I got somewhere I gotta be.
Where might that be? Perhaps I could join you. Shout you to a drink or something.
Ooh, maybe. Roll a persuasion? Because this is a persuasion. He is friendly to you, but he still needs to be persuaded.
15 total.
Well, wait, wouldn't you have advantage because he's charmed?
That's true.
Oh,
Advantage, I'm sorry.
okay.
That's what it does. You get advantage on charisma check.
Okay.
Right.
24 total. Then.
Ooh. You know, normally I really shouldn't, but this is actually a pretty big haul for me. I'm sure they wouldn't mind me bringing company. Yeah. You ever been to the Pig and Brown?
To the what? I'm sorry?
Pig and Brown. Best little place in town. Best little tavern in town.
I haven't, but I would love to go with you.
Hey, come on. Whoa. Excuse me, big guys. You just now notice the guards who give him a look and then give you a look like, are you serious?
I nod.
Roll their eyes and then they just step out of the way.
And I link my arm with him.
Eh?
Rune and Cruz are with me, right?
Yeah.
I have to get my hand stamped because I won money, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't mind...
So I'll be shortly following.
Okay, don't mind him. He's my bodyguard. Come now.
Oh, of course not. Oh, pretty lady, you gotta have a bodyguard.
Oh, that's quite important, if I do say so.
Oh, yeah, I can tell. You look important.
And then I'm gonna shoot Valvyre. Look.
I ignore it. I am too busy charming the pants off this guy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you haven't even asked his name? He hasn't noticed. He doesn't seem to care. As they go through an exit lane getting their hand stamp. You all get a hand stamp. It's basically saying, hey, this person's already gone through security check. You can let him back in, essentially.
Yeah. I do want to get the guy's name.
Oh, you can call me Brick. Everybody does.
All right. Well, you may call me Val.
Oh, that's such a pretty name.
Thank you.
Much better than Pubert. That's why people call me Brick. Yeah. So he's leading you off back out of the casino into town. We'll jump back to our friend Michelangelo, whose elevator just dinged and opened up to a T-junction hallway that is in vast difference, or vast, what's the word? Starts with a C. Not contradiction. The word that means very different from?
Contrast.
Contrast, thank you. I hate that I lost that word. In vast contrast to...
You almost had
Yeah. In vast contrast to the gold and lights and all the spectacularness of the upper area is a solid concrete gray with bits of piping and stuff going around. This is just purely a pure maintenance tunnel. Though it is very well lit and very well kept. Like, it's clean, it's well maintained. It's the nicest maintenance tunnel you've probably ever seen.
I tell my head side to side, invoking my background feature again. Is this where the magic starts, or is it one floor up?
The magic is on this floor, but it's actually a little down, but you can't go any lower via the elevator. However, you can get a general feeling that it's down straight ahead towards the center, again, of the massive tower.
I get out of the elevator and I start heading for the center. And as he does so, he recalls a skill training about the way to sneak around the place is to make it look like you belong there, so I am working it. So do I need to put on performance?
Yes. Give us a performance roll.
Hold on 1 second, let me double check something.
No problem.
Where is it? I think it's a gunslinger thing. Poker face. I have an advantage on ability check and saving throws made to prevent others from sensing motives, perceiving your emotions, or reading your thoughts. Does this count?
Yeah, I think it counts. Because you're trying to make everyone believe you belong there.
That's 13.
Yeah, you seem to be doing a pretty good job. No one seems to give you a second look. I mean, you're down here. You seem to know what you're doing, and no one's supposed to be down here unless they're supposed to be down here. So the few people you do pass while going through these halls, don't seem to give you any mind. Though, following the signs, you are pointed to what seems to say Power Station, Power and Genre Station.
Power and what?
Genre Station.
Genre, as in Genre?
Yes.
Does that mean something else that I'm just not getting? Because genre means like a type of book.
Or movie or game. Yes, it does.
Okay.
That is indeed what that word means.
Okay, that's the context you're using it. Then alrighty.
As you continue down this hall, are you just going to continue down going to this Power/Genre Station?
Yep.
All right. You get to a pair of double doors that open up onto an elevated walkway. You know, those metal catwalks?
Yes.
Into a rather large room with several banks of things that are humming and buzzing away, probably. Like they have the symbols on them seem to indicate that they're power generators, probably keeping this entire building lit up. Though more interestingly are the glass tubes leading up into the ceiling from here, and then leading down into individual little boxes down below, each with an odd nearly transparent stones that are glowing and feeding magical energy into each of these tubes that are going back up into the ceiling.
With black stone, you said?
It's a black stone. They're kind of translucent looking from where you can see, but they're glowing, so it's a little hard to tell from the glow and from this distance.
Can I make an Arcana check to see what that is?
Yeah, go ahead.
18.
You have never seen this before, but based on description and the name of this room, you surmise that those must be genre stones. Very powerful magical fragments of realities that no longer exist that warp reality around them to certain vibes, let's say. They're very rare and very highly controlled. In fact, the guild have strict regulations against any use of genre stones. There's no world government in Pryerwald, but if there was one, you're pretty sure genre stones would be illegal. That is how powerful they're effective.
Is there ritual magic has ritual magic taking place in this room?
Oh, yes. Can you tell what kind of ritual magic it is? Or just...
No, I just can tell if it's just been used.
Okay, yeah. There is definitely a feeling of ritual magic going on. Someone speaks over to your side. They're beautiful, aren't they? Quite the collection. If you look over, you will see a man in a very nice white button-up shirt with the sleeves rolled up, leaning over the railing, looking down at the genre stones. He has dark white hair, and that's very flicked back and very nice. That continues into sideburns and a beard mustache combo, and is wearing a pair of gold-rimmed circular glasses, looking down at them. Every now and then I just have to take a look at them myself. Though, not sure why you're down here. Guilty.
His hair and his facial hair is all white, right?
Yeah. Very, very dark. But it's all very neatly trimmed and short.
Now, does he have gold glasses or gold spectacles?
He has, the rims are gold. The glasses themselves are clear. And I should also mention his eyes are a very strong yellow-orange color. Gold, almost. If you would just say someone has golden eyes, unless you meant literally, this is essentially what you would mean.
Not sure if... Oh, wait. I glanced downward. Is my amulet lighting up?
A bit, yeah. And by that I mean it probably, if it can, and pick up it a lot, it will be actually kind of vibrating.
No, it's
It just lights up?
it lights up in the presence of illusion magic when the caster is divine in origin.
Yeah. It's lighting up from the sky.
I look at that, and I begin to sweat a little bit, and I bow to this figure. One hand on the chest, and I just bow.
No. You don't need to bow to me. He offers his hands. Fritz Garish Esquire, owner of this entire establishment. And he gives you a smile. You've met someone very important.
Fritz, what?
Garish. Fritz Garish Esquire.
I.e. the owner.
Yep. Yeah, I figured that.
And yes, the Esquire part does mean he indeed is a lawyer as well. Not only is he very important, he is also very... So, that's why your little disguise didn't quite work for him, I'm going to say.
As I stand back up, I put my head to the side. I'm looking at this figure.
He looks human, besides the brightness of his eyes, though he is built like a mountain. He would make the guild master look like he skipped a few days at the gym.
I start in common saying, does the guild master know you have these materials? And then in celestial I say, oh, bright one.
I know what you're thinking. Don't worry, it's all in the up and up. He actually helped me set this little whole thing up. I made sure it was all up and up. He actually helped me. We're actually the ones that take the genre stones that the guild confiscates, because frankly, very few know how to use them more than I do. Also, not a celestial. He understood what you said, but yeah. Look, I tried doing the whole being worship thing. Not much a fan, honestly.
Mindful of the fact that he's in the presence of Pryerwald is a fucking deity, pardon my French.
Or at the very least, an ancient dragon. Close enough.
Yeah. Which, when you get to the ancient levels, they start rivaling deities.
That's why I said close enough.
Yeah.
And the ritual magic that's been cast upon this place?
You must be detecting the protection spell. You see those glass containers those stones are in? Very special magic is required in order to contain their energies once they become active, and even more so to funnel those energies to where they're needed.
Can I roll insight on this man, even though it's probably futile?
You can go right ahead.
That's a 9. Nope.
He doesn't seem to be bullshitting you. You see, I like the casino to have a very specific kind of feeling. And these genre stones, once you know how to adjust them, tend to make it work out.
Insight. Sorry, I'm taking notes here.
It's okay. This is a very unusual encounter.
I nod and then I say, then you have no issue with guildies running around your establishment.
Of course not, though I do prefer they have an escort if they're down in this area. It's for safety on both sides, mind you. I have a very particular way I like having things running, and I don't want anyone to accidentally break any.
Then with a corner of his mouth tilting up slightly, he'll say, then may I have an escort up to the clock? Now that I've seen the below, I would like to check the above.
Of course. I'll do it myself. Come on. He starts walking and pulling a... Well, like, he's powerful and it's scary, but he's also... His name is very fitting, as he grabs something you didn't see because it was sitting behind him off the railing, a glittering golden suit jacket, which he puts on after he slides down his sleeves and fixes the cuff. A garishly golden jacket.
Meanwhile, all this is happening, does not have any idea of what's happened to...
Well, I heard chaos, but again, tavern brawls, he's used to it.
Oh, yeah. Right this way, Mr. Michelangelo.
Okay.
You didn't give him your name, did you?
No, I did not, but again, and he presence of a divine being. Not going to bother with that.
Yeah. And okay, now I think that is a good place to call it. And continue on with the Electrum Janum next time on Papers and Cataclysms.
Bye.
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 Bye.